This is Alex Smith with Columbia Southern University in EMS Systems Design in Unit 7 PowerPoint presentation, where we're presenting our program that we're going to be evaluating with the health and safety programs for EMS providers and EMS. So with the introduction, we're going to look at how EMS providers face high-risk working conditions that lead to physical, mental, and emotional stress. So many times, emergency medical services providers operate in high-risk working conditions where the mental and physical demands can compromise their health. Among the several risks these experts deal with include automobile accidents, lifting injuries, infectious diseases, and high stress from the nature of their employment, even due to long work hours or multiple jobs. Reducing these hazards and shielding EMS personnel from both the physical and psychological injury depends on strong health and safety initiatives being followed. These initiatives guarantee that EMS professionals have the tools they need to handle the daily emotional and psychological stresses they come across. In addition to helping to reduce occupational risk, including slips, falls, and musculoskeletal injuries associated with lifting, furthermore, programs emphasizing employee well-being, health, and safety can raise general job satisfaction among EMS staff, lower burnout, compassion fatigue, and boost morale. Given that EMS personnel regularly come across trauma, crisis, and high-stress events, mental health care is especially important. By means of a complete program compromising mental health resources and wellness campaigns, these problems can be addressed, thereby assuring the EMS providers remain strong and competent in rendering high-quality treatment. By guaranteeing a dependable and well-prepared emergency response system, those initiatives not only safeguard EMS personnel but also improve the safety and efficacy of the services they deliver, therefore benefiting the areas they serve. So we're going to look at identifying key health and safety needs in the EMS providers. So health and safety issues bound for EMS providers that could compromise their long-term viability. Physically taxing chores include patient lifting, equipment handling, and long hours in multiple jobs, which help to explain high rates of musculoskeletal injuries and strain. Furthermore, nature of their employment sometimes exposes them to bloodborne infections like HIV and hepatitis, as well as infectious diseases like meningitis, including respiratory ailments like COVID-19 or pneumonia. EMS professionals routinely deal with traumatic events, handle patient fatalities, and deal with high degree of stress that can cause burnout, compassion fatigue, PTSD, and other emotional problems. Therefore, mental health is also a big issue. Effective identification of these important health and safety requirements depends on combining several data collecting techniques. Incident reports might offer information on the kinds of diseases and injuries most often afflicting EMS personnel. Staff comments and surveys might highlight mental health issues, including burnout or depression, and assist in determining whether stress management initiatives are needed. EMS providers can better understand the particular hazards their staff members encounter by combining qualitative and quantitative data, therefore guiding the creation of focused health and safety programs. So we're going to look at setting the program goals and objectives, looking at our short-term goals, long-term goals, objectives, and how we're going to measure these outcomes and look at how we're going to evaluate our benchmarks. So by maintaining the success of the EMS health and safety program depends on well-defined, quantifiable objectives. Reducing the number of occupational injuries by 15% within the first year of program implementation could be one of the main objectives in the short term. Better safety procedures, more training, and ergonomic assistance for EMS providers will help you to do this. Long-term objectives should be to raise EMS staff members' General quality of living, especially with regards to issues include mental health, job satisfaction, and retention rates. Implementing a thorough wellness program covering physical exercise, stress management, and mental health assistance could be one particular aim to reach those aims. Initiatives under the program could be mental health counseling, peer support groups, stress relieving hobbies, and fitness programs. Program efficacy will be assessed in part by measurable results like tracking injury rates, employee satisfaction surveys, and mental health gains. By establishing regular evaluation benchmarks, quarterly reviews, for example, you will be able to make continuous changes to guarantee the program stays sensitive to the changing demands of the EMS providers. And we're going to be setting periodic milestones throughout this program. So we look at resource planning. What are we needing? And with a successful application of an EMS health and safety program will depend on efficient resource planning, providing necessary tools to safeguard EMS personnel and personal protection equipment, ergonomic stretchers, power stair chairs, and other lifting tools and other safety gear equipment is one of the main resource demands. Furthermore, specific training resources are required to teach EMS personnel safety procedures, stress management, and harm avoidance. Creating thorough training courses guarantees that every EMS provider is ready to manage the physical and psychological demands of their positions and know how to use the equipment properly. Another important issue is staffing, since extra people could be required to supervise daily program operations, administer wellness projects, and run training courses. Additionally, significant support can come from outside alliances, such as working with nearby hospitals, for mental health counselors, to provide continuous psychological support or medical supplies. At last, program money is really vital. Government grants, local municipal backing, or alliances with private healthcare providers who have a stake in EMS personnel's well-being could be among the possible funding sources. These materials will provide the basis upon which the initiative may be developed and maintained. So we look at the proposal overview of this program. Designing to handle the physical, psychological, and emotional difficulties EMS providers encounter. The planned EMS health and safety program. This initiative will concentrate on improving physical safety by means of ergonomic tools and suitable personal protective equipment, hence lowering occupational injuries. To raise general job happiness, it will also include mental health assistance by means of counseling services, stress management programs, and wellness projects. Through improved safety procedures, training, and equipment, the initiative seeks to lower occupational injuries by 15% in the first year as a short-term goal, emphasizing with mental health, stress reduction, and job satisfaction, which will eventually lower burnout and compassion fatigue and raise retention rates, which is our long-term objective, is to improve the general health of EMS personnel. The program will feature continuous assessments to monitor important indicators such injury rates, employee satisfaction, and mental health enhancements, so ensuring that it keeps meeting the demands of EMS professionals and adjust to any new difficulties. And we'll be doing this through quarterly reviews and maintaining it continuously. So there will be a financial impact to the community, and how do we avoid this? Well, the suggested health and safety initiative immediately affects the larger community and has a financial impact outside the EMS personnel. The program will help to minimize healthcare expenditures by helping EMS providers to cut injuries and mental health problems. EMS personnel who have fewer injuries and are better supported emotionally will require less medical treatment, therefore lowering medical claims and workers' compensation expenses. Reducing absenteeism resulting from burnout, compassion fatigue, or injury will also help EMS providers to spend less time on sick leave, therefore enhancing workforce availability and productivity. According to a cost-benefit study, the initial outlay of the initiative will result in long-term significant savings, reducing injury-related claims by up to 20%. For instance, save the community significant medical bills and insurance premiums. Moreover, better quality treatment given by healthier and more involved EMS personnel would result in more effective emergency responses and a more solid, dependable healthcare system generally, apart from safeguarding EMS providers' welfare. This initiative will help enhance the financial stability and efficiency of the community's healthcare system, or EMS system. So, training needs for the EMS staff. So, the success of this health and safety program depends on a strong training element. EMS employees must first and most importantly be taught ergonomics to lower physical strain and stop injuries. This covers instructions in correct lifting methods, safe equipment handling, and approaches for lowering bodily stress throughout extended shifts. Training in stress management is also quite important since EMS personnel frequently deal with high-stress events that can cause emotional tiredness, burnout, or compassion fatigue. To help EMS personnel properly manage stress both on and off the job, training should center on offering pragmatic coping tools including relaxation techniques, mindfulness practices, and breathing exercises. Early on, identification and addressing of mental health issues including burnout, compassion fatigue, PTSD, and depression depends on mental health awareness training. EMS providers should be equipped with the tools to identify symptoms of mental health problems, not only in themselves but also in their co-workers, therefore promoting a friendly workplace. EMS personnel must also be constantly ready for any scenario by means of refresher education in first aid, CPR, or emergency medical skills. Training will be provided online modules for flexibility and thorough knowledge, in-person seminars covering hands-on skills, and practical sessions to guarantee competency in real-life situations. This combined strategy guarantees that every employee, wherever or on a schedule, gets the required training to guarantee their health, safety, and capacity to carry out their responsibilities in their respective position in the EMS system. So our evaluation overview, we'll look at how the EMS system and safety program's evaluation plan combine qualitative and quantitative approaches to provide a complete evaluation of its success. So the hybrid method enables a thorough knowledge of both the numerical results such as injury reduction as well as the subjective experiences of EMS personnel, such as job satisfaction and mental health enhancements. The program's projected results are a notable drop in occupational injuries, improved mental health among EMS employees, and general rise in the satisfaction. These results complement the main objective of the program, that of improving staff health and safety by means of consistent data collecting techniques like incident reports, employee surveys, wellness evaluations, and performance monitoring. We can evaluate the program's short and long-term effects. Furthermore, the assessment will offer insightful information that can help the program to be always better. Regular analysis of these results help us to pinpoint areas that require work so that the program stays successful in meeting changing needs of EMS providers. So when we look at the qualitative or quantitative evaluation that we're going to evaluate this program on, we're actually going to see that we're going to use both types of evaluation. The EMS health and safety program will be evaluated holistically using both quantitative and qualitative approaches. We're going to look at tracking incident rates, injury statistics, and participation in training and wellness programs will be the main emphasis of quantitative assessment. These objective assessments will enable us to ascertain whether the initiative is reaching its declared targets, that is, lowering injury rates and raising staff retention. Conversely, qualitative evaluation techniques such as questionnaires and interviews will offer a more thorough understanding of staff opinions of the program. This will enable us to appreciate better the program's personal effects, especially in relation to stress management, general job satisfaction, and mental health enhancements. Using both qualitative and quantitative approaches will help us to guarantee that we are accurately depicting the measurable results as well as the lived experiences of the EMS providers, thereby providing a whole picture of the success of the program. So, what are metrics for evaluation? So, while using particular criteria in line with the objectives of the EMS health and safety program, one can assess the program's success. Injury rates will be one of the main indicators we will record before and after program implementation. The frequency and degree of injuries. This will help us ascertain whether the initiative has successfully lowered EMS personnel's physical risk. Furthermore, mental health scores will be determined by means of standardized instruments, tackling issues including burnout, stress, decompression fatigue, and depression, and improving staff well-being. Surveys on job satisfaction will shed light on how the program affects worker morale and retention, therefore influencing another important result we aim to improve. We will also monitor program participation with an eye toward EMS staff involvement in mental health assistance, wellness programs, and training courses. High participation rates will show how relevant and successful the training is in attending to EMS employees' needs. We will use surveys, performance monitoring tools, and incident reports to compile this information. These instruments will enable us to compile qualitative and quantitative information, therefore offering a whole picture of the program's influence. Frequent data analysis will help us to maintain the required changes and enhance the program to the advantage of EMS personnel and the communities they serve. So our key points, the summary of them. In essence, the EMS Health and Safety Program seeks to accomplish important objectives including lowering occupational injuries, strengthening mental health, and improving the general well-being of EMS personnel. These well-considered objectives with an eye toward health and safety needs define particular quantifiable targets and guarantee the required supplies for effective program execution. The proposal of the program consists of several elements: physical safety training, mental health assistance, and wellness project implementation. These components taken together help EMS personnel to establish a thorough safety culture, tracking injury statistics and doing staff surveys, among other qualitative and quantitative techniques, can help evaluate the program and guide any required changes. The initiative ultimately goes beyond simply lowering occupational hazards. It is also concerned with raising EMS providers' general level of welfare. Investing in their health and safety helps us to build a more sustainable workforce, which enhances the standards of emergency medical services given to society. The success of this initiative will affect the populations this EMS crew serves as well as its members. So what are anticipated outcomes? So several favorable results from the assessment process should highlight the effectiveness of the EMS Health and Safety Program. Injury rates among EMS personnel should significantly drop, maybe by up to 15% in the first year. Better safety rules, instruction, and ergonomic support will directly cause this decrease. The initiative is also supposed to exhibit better mental wellness among EMS providers and professionals. Access to mental health resources and stress management programs will also assist in lowering burnout, compassion fatigue, and other mental health issues. Consequently, we anticipate higher job satisfaction, moral standards, as well as reduced turnover rates and improved staff retention. Higher rates of involvement in wellness and training initiatives will also be an important result since EMS personnel are interacting with the given tools. Directly, this participation will help to produce a workforce that is stronger and healthier. In the long term, the initiative is projected to have a continuous favorable effect on EMS professionals' health as well as the quality of emergency services provided to society. Supporting EMS staff members' health and well-being guarantees a more dependable and efficient emergency response system going forward. And this concludes the presentation of my EMS health and safety program. And here's my references. Thank you.